Good evening everyone and welcome to the Perfect Pass podcast. Mayong gabi sa inyo tanan diha sa Visayas and Mindanao. Mayong gabi sa inyo sa Iloilo and Bacolod and parts of Jensen. And welcome to the Perfect Pass podcast and magandang gabi sa lahat sa Luzon. And thank you again for listening to this podcast. And tonight we will be talking about the Philippines Azkals versus the Papua New Guinea national team. So we had a game earlier today, and it was a really good game in a way for our Philippine team. It's better than nothing. We won 5-0 against the visiting team from Papua New Guinea. And welcome to the Philippines, by the way, if you're listening. So we won 5-0, all goals scored in the first half. So today we're gonna talk about breaking down the performance of the team for that full 90 minutes of the game. So, what do we have? Just to give a brief summary, we'll have some match analysis, we'll have about the final score, our man of the match, formations, good things and bad things about the game, and everything in general that was worthwhile for the Philippines. So, let me start by doing the honors. Man of the match, obviously, we have Marky Hartman as the man of the match for the game. So, ano bang ginawa ni Marky Hartman? Well, not only did he score 4 goals, but he brought the much needed scoring that we needed for the Azkals, and I think that the training in the last few weeks, was good because everyone was on pace. Everyone was doing their best and trying to get a good result from this international friendly. So, just a quick background: this was hurriedly made friendly because we had our original friendly set with Malaysia cancelled because Malaysians are currently on their league, and pretty much the focus is on that. So how we break it down, Marky Hartman was the man of the match. And I think the secondary awardees for that would be Phil Young Husband and Misa Bahador. And why? Because they provided good passing, good scoring chances, and especially with Misa, he was crisp, he was precise, he was running all over the left flank and doing everything. So those were the secondary guys for man of the match. And obviously, we have Marky Hartman as the winner. So he scored 4 goals in the first half, which was good. And I wouldn't go into detail on how he scored those goals, but yeah, it was good for us and it was good for the team. So let's break it down first in the first half. So with the formation that we had really a fairly new formation though, which surprised me. We had Patrick Dayton goal. Uh, on the back line from the left is we had Daisuke Sato, uh, Rob Gear, Amani Aguinaldo, which was a surprise starter for me, and Simone Rota on the right flank. So pretty much the coach Dooley wanted the back line to be both a mix of I think the only surprise here would be Amani Aguinaldo, but it's good because we had Juan Higuerado on the bench ready to play center back, but he opted to go with Amani Aguinaldo on center back. So that was good for us because Amani Aguinaldo, when I saw him play, he was very confident. He knew what he was doing, and it was a good sight to see because we're trying to cover all the bases before the Suzuki Cup finishes. So the good thing about the back line, they were steady, but Papua New Guinea had some chances, but luck was on our side for not uh, giving up for allowing allowing a goal in the process because there was a chance that hit the post and the follow up just skyrocketed over the bar. Um, Very good for us because I think that I would give a rating for the defense in the first half to be A rating because they held their own and they tried to do some stuff that they haven't done. Obviously, from the last games, we didn't see Simone Rota on the Peace Cup because he had a certain condition during that time. But now he's back on the right flank. I saw his pace. He was fit. The backline, our backline was fit, and it's a good thing for us coming into the tournament. And another big surprise for me was the midfield because we started from Misa on the left, Chris Greatwich, Simon Greatwich, and Patrick Reichelt on the right. Reichelt, it wasn't a surprise. It was a bit expected for him to start on the right. Misa, it's a good pleasant surprise for him to start on the left, but he has done that before many times. The big surprise was playing the brothers in the middle for the Philippine team, and I think it was really good because I have a certain bias for familiarity, especially in the game. So we could see, especially if you have brothers playing, right? Brothers know how each other plays. It always is good for the team because there's one less pair to to really have that need time to have them gel. So that was good for us in the first half. And Marky Hartman, a striker, and Phil Young husband. I'm really happy with. Just sorry, going back to the midfield, I was happy with the performance. It's just that the other three players were a bit off today. Not, I mean, it's mostly Chris and Patrick, so they're a bit off in their timing and something, but they played a decent game for today. Chris held its own, did well. Misa, he was just all over the place in like passing and providing assists and just really going inside that left flank and trying to disrupt the defense of Papua New Guinea. And we had, obviously, we had Marky Hartman and Phil Young husband as strikers for this game. Um, this is our local team, except for Rob Gear, who just flew in for the game, and it was a very good experience for us. Marky Hartman showing his stuff. Marky Hartman is pretty darn dangerous when he's given space uh, on top of the box or in front of the box, which is really good. And I think we should, maximize that potential that he has, given that he is very precise on a certain parts of the field. Fielding husband, I think he's really fit right now. I saw him run faster compared to the previous games that we saw, especially the Burma game in the final of the Peace Cup. So I'm really optimistic about this the chances we have here. But I do really want our team to play against a better side because Papua New Guinea, if you look at it, is if I would put a measure to them, they would be like a bottom UFL First Division team, and yeah, they were pretty decent with stuff that they were doing, but not much bite on the attack. Just they were just outplayed in the first half, especially with Misa and Markey and Phil and Husband doing the damage. So overall, the first half was a good performance for us. Another thing that I would like to note was that in the first half, most of our goals were coming from counterattacks. So I think we have to really embrace our speed, number one, if we have it in the Southeast Asian level, because um, we really have to embrace the fact that our organization is not really what we want to expect, not really what we expected, and we were always good on the break, on the counter attack, on what you if you call it the fast break, what would you like, and that was good for us because we have a lot of offside goals, which only shows that we have really good aggressiveness in the first half. So the other thing that I liked about the first half team was that um, players were more fit. Obviously, the UFL FA League Cup is already halfway, more than halfway, and we are gonna see great finish just before the start of the AFF Suzuki Cup. The good thing about that is because we're already in the middle of the tournament. Players seem to have that certain sense of fitness that was missing in the Peace Cup game. So everyone in the Peace Cup was like coming from a vacation or something. So they were a bit slow. Everyone was very tentative, but now you can see that the tenacity is in their faces, and they could really go and just play and do a full 90-minute game against the other team. So it was really enjoying. I really enjoyed watching the first half. But missing attempts, that was a big factor because you don't really get in the Suzuki Cup. You'll have lesser attempts against stronger opposition, and we would have to have work harder in that aspect. So yeah, we played Amalia Aguinaldo, which was good. So that I think the good positives that we had for the first half. So just going back a little, some bit on the negatives. Um, we scored too early, which is not really that bad, but it changes the psyche of the game come the second half. So again, too many missed shots were a big factor for us, and pretty much the first half was it's good. It's what we were expecting from our team playing this Papua New Guinea side. It's a bit sad though that we didn't see the exact core that Singapore played for Papua New Guinea, where Singapore won 2 goals to 1, and we were hoping for a really tighter match, but yeah, we really can't expect so much because it was a hastily created friendly match. Anyway, moving on, the second half we saw a lot of substitutions. I think it was we had Paulo Bugas, um, Kurt, Kenshiro Daniels, and Anton Del Rosario coming in for the defense, and we had other later addition would be James, young husband for Markey. So I think the second half was a good demonstration of what we still need to work on, especially in the attacking front. So we didn't really do any much change on the defense except for Anton, who obviously held his own. I think Dooley wanted to see the fitness level and the reactions of Anton Del Rosario, knowing that he's coming from an injury, and I think he pretty much held his own during that part. In the latter stage of the second half, we saw Daisuke Sato going all out from the left flank, which is good for us because we needed that extra attacking help from that side, and it was good for us for the back line. The back line was consistent and played really much better on the second half. The offense, though, was a bit trickier. We had Paulo Bugas. I think it was Paulo Bugas, I'm pretty sure. Paulo Bugas was on the left side, and I think we had Simon and Chris in the middle, and on the right side we had Kenshiro Daniels manning the flanks. Kenshiro, he had a lot of attempts. No, sorry, he had a lot of chances and he made a lot of plays during that episode for the last second half. And it was good because the young guys are really showing it up. Kurt Dizon, yeah, he still had a good pace with him and had some few touches up front. Paulo Bugas still, he's still trying to adjust with the position that he's working on. He's moving on the left side, and his defender was pretty strong, so it was a bit of a drag for him during that time. But we had a really difficult time in scoring in the second half. Obviously, Papua New Guinea went back a little bit. So, nung umatras yung defense nila, it was a bit harder for us to score because they were a bit more disciplined on that occasion. And on the second half, I mean, and sobrang nahirapan tayo on trying to get those attempts in the goal. So we had James Young Osman coming in 30 minutes. Manny Ott trying to make a difference coming in the 70th minute. So we really didn't have enough shots on goal, which was a bit disappointing. But let's take it as it is and try to improve on it. Um, it will be crucial for us in the Suzuki Cup, especially with the second unit that we have. Obviously, we don't have the pace that the Southeast Asian football is really known for. Playing Indonesia and Vietnam, these are high-paced teams, and these are pretty relentless teams. So, and I know for a fact that Marky Hartman had a hard time playing against the Burmese side in the final last time because they had pace and speed that we're not really used to finding here because everyone in the other countries play football, so they have really fast players. Obviously we need a stronger opponent for this one, and we need to improve our second unit. Obviously, the kids are doing their best, and we'll see progress in a few weeks from them, given that we have the second phase of the FA League Cup before the Suzuki Cup, and pretty much we had to improve. In general, we have to improve our midfield because most most of the attacks are all coming from counter attacks, and mostly would come from the left or the right side. So in the center part of the field, we're about a bit missing on that part. Trying to take control of the middle would really help us in getting the edge coming into the Suzuki Cup. I think it's fairly obvious that we have scorers in Phil and Marky Hartman, but um, it's kind of obvious that we need more. And the arrival of maybe Paul Mulders and especially our player from Thailand, um, Javi, Javi Patino, is really important for us coming in. So we need to improve on that aspect, especially on the offensive front. The defensive part, we have Juan Igurado on the bench, which is good for us. We have um, Jeff Christians. We could do left wing or left back anytime. Yeah. Center backs, we have a good rotation for that. Right backs, I think we have a steady right back on there. And obviously, I haven't mentioned anything about Patrick Dato. Patrick Dato would be a very, very good backup um, if he was a backup on the Suzuki Cup. But I don't mind him being a starter for our team in the next few weeks. Obviously, um, the Suzuki Cup does not fall on the FIFA calendar, so really, we will really have a hard time getting the best players, especially those who are located outside the country. Martin Schäuble, I think that he's the only guy that we're expecting to be missing. I don't think that the coach would try to bring in new players for the Suzuki Cup, but it would be good for us if we had more stable attacking players. But it would be really bad for our cohesion. But pretty much it was a good game for us, just a good gauge on, um, especially if you're trying to get into a tournament. And the first thing that you really want to know is the fitness of the players, especially the attacking players. And we have seen that we have that fitness, which is good for us. So we have a few weeks to work on other things um, as well. So I think what we have to look forward to would be the second phase of the UFL FA League Cup, which I will touch base in a bit. So Uh, we had, I think, a lot of games already coming in. We have, if you guys don't know, we have two brackets of five of six teams each. So the top four in each bracket would qualify for the quarterfinals. The good thing about this FA League Cup format is that everyone uh, there is no assurance on who you will play in the quarterfinals, as it was agreed upon by the UFL, by the Football Alliance, that everything will be redrawn come quarterfinals. So there is no assurance that the stronger team will fight the lower ranking team in the quarterfinals. So everything would be really good for us because it will be exciting in some ways. Also, you should also note that the semifinals would also be the winners of the quarterfinals would also be redrawn again. So there's again no assurance of who we will be playing against in the semifinals. So everything will be a game to game basis, which is good for us, good for our national team players because they're gonna be exposed on tight competition in the next few weeks. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. We have a game against Nepal in a few weeks. I think which is an upgrade on the current games that we had with Papua New Guinea. So I'm positive with what we're seeing right now and hoping for the best really for our national team that we'll get a better performance from everyone coming into the Suzuki Cup. Just to give a quick background, we'll be playing. It's by the way, I just remembered the AFF Suzuki Cup qualifiers already happening right now, and it will be interesting to watch our fellow Southeast Asian neighbors playing against each other. So only two teams will progress. The top two teams will progress, and we will get the second best team for that qualifying round, which is, I think, good for us because we will be playing them on the first game on November 22nd. We will be playing, I think, Indonesia on the 24th and then 6th and 7th, and we'll be playing on the home team Vietnam on the 28th. So very tight schedule for us, but hopefully we get there and um, get to improve some more uh, in the coming weeks. So I think that's pretty much it for the Perfect Pass podcast this episode, and I hope you pick up a thing or two about football. So pretty much is go to the Perfect Pass blog. It's the perfect pass wordpress.com, and you could get all the information that I have posted there on Philippine football and Philippine sports in general. So thank you very much. Madam, una salamat sa inyong tanan, and I hope to see you in a few weeks or maybe next week. I'll be doing another podcast as well. So thank you and have a good night, everyone. Cheers, bye.